Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Our presentation today is part of the SciTechsperience Webinar Series. My name is Maria Rico. I'm the Student Outreach Coordinator at the SciTechsperience program, and I'm here today with Piper Cleveland, our Marketing and Communications Specialist.
Hi everybody, we're glad you could all join us today.
Our topic today is a student's guide to SciTechsperience. At the end of this webinar, you will have a full understanding of how to use SciTech like a pro and increase your odds of finding your dream internship. We are recording today's presentation as part of the SciTechsperience Webinar Series. A copy of the recording will be emailed to you once the presentation concludes and can also be found on our blog under the Student Resources category.
That's right, and you can reference those resources anytime by going to scitechmn.org. All right, so today's webinar will be somewhat of an interview. I'll be leading the questions, asking Maria about the ins and outs of SciTechsperience to help you understand how best to use the program.
And no matter where you are, you'll find something in this webinar to utilize because we'll be addressing information for beginners and returning users.
Exactly. So Maria, let's start with the obvious question. What can you tell us about SciTechsperience?
Yeah, so SciTechsperience is a state-funded internship program that connects college students pursuing degrees in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to internships in small to mid-sized Minnesota companies. The program started in 2012 with a purpose to build and retain the Minnesota STEM workforce. And the program is housed at the Minnesota High-Tech Association located in downtown Minneapolis. SciTechsperience also supports small businesses by providing a wage reimbursement that covers 50% of the intern's wages, capped at $2,500.
What are some of the benefits?
So the program helps retain STEM talent in Minnesota by introducing students to the vast array of opportunities at small companies through these paid internships. Internships at SciTech participating companies offer students valuable hands-on industry experience, an opportunity to apply their knowledge to real-world challenges, and build the skills they need to bridge the gap between classroom and career. SciTech has supported a total of over 1,400 internships since it started. SciTech supported 60 internships in 2012, 368 last year, and this program year will support at least 350 internships.
Wow, that's really impressive. So how is SciTech different from recruiting firms or agencies?
Great question, Piper. To answer that, let's touch base on program specifics.
Sounds good.
So unlike SciTech, recruitment agencies work directly with companies to fill their open positions by matching candidates in their database to these vacancies. This means the company will notify the agency of a new opening. The agency's consultants or recruiters will find suitable candidates in their database and send them to the company for approval. Once they hear back from the company, they will arrange interviews for the best matching candidates. Recruitment agencies also receive monetary compensation for making a successful match, meaning the candidate was hired. SciTech, on the other hand, is exclusively for STEM college students and functions differently. So we don't match you up with a company, we don't set up interviews, we don't make any of the hiring decisions, nor do we get monetary compensation when an internship takes place through the SciTech program. This means the program is free for both students and companies. And when you secure an internship through SciTech, the employer that hires you is provided with a matching grant to cover up to $2,500 of your wages, which is a huge incentive for companies to hire from our pool of students.
That makes sense. So if we don't do the matching for them, what do students do once they're enrolled and have been accepted?
So once a student is enrolled, it is the student's responsibility to apply for different jobs on our job board by reaching out directly to the hiring managers. Their emails and phone numbers will be provided in the job description. SciTech will be notified by the company if you're hired and will provide the wage match at the end of your internship in accordance to the program criteria.
All right, so now that we've got that covered, let's talk about the opportunities within the program, specifically who's hiring through SciTech. What kind of companies and industries are involved with SciTechsperience?
Yeah, glad you asked, Piper. So all SciTech companies are small to mid-size. That means that they have 250 employees or fewer worldwide. They must, of course, provide hands-on experience in STEM. This means that all of the jobs available on the job board are screened prior to being posted to ensure that they provide this hands-on STEM experience. So all the companies that we work with fall into 7 categories, and these industries are IT and computer technology, biotechnology and life sciences, aerospace and defense, engineering services, agriculture and food service, fuels and energy, and lastly, mining, materials, manufacturing, and process.
Good to know. So let's say I'm an interested student. Now that I know what the program is and who's involved, how can I participate in SciTech?
Yeah, so students need to apply to the program and meet eligibility criteria in order to participate. So we only receive enrollment applications submitted online at scitechmn.org. And I promise our enrollment application is easy and only takes a few minutes.
Awesome. Can we go over those requirements so we can see who's eligible?
Of course. So to be eligible, students must be at least 18 years of age, Minnesota residents or attending college in Minnesota. They must be in good academic standing, meaning you have a minimum GPA of 2.5. You must be halfway through your STEM program, which means if you're working towards an associate's degree, you have to have at least 24 credits completed. And if you're working towards a bachelor's degree, you must have at least 60 credits completed at the time of application. You must also be legally eligible to work in the United States. So that means international students may participate if they have CPT or OPT work authorization. And lastly, you must be enrolled in a STEM degree at an accredited U.S. college or university.
All right, so let's say I've checked all the boxes. Are there any documents I should have prepared in order to submit my application?
Great question, Piper. Yes, there are specific documents you will need in order to complete your enrollment and be approved to participate in the program. So before you start your application, make sure you have the following materials. First, you'll want to have an unofficial transcript that shows your name, school name, major, cumulative GPA and credits, and your courses currently in progress. Make sure it is an unofficial transcript and not a degree audit or progress report. We are unable to accept those. Next, you'll want to make sure you have your selective service receipt documentation. And this is for all of those that identified as males at birth. They must show proof of registration or exemption from selective service. If you're an international student, you must submit an I-20 to show your exemption. This step, if you're registered, registration is quick and easy, and all you need is your last name, social security, and date of birth to generate that receipt of registration. Once you have that, you'll download it as a PDF and upload it with your enrollment application. After that, you'll want to have a resume that you can copy and paste. Make sure it is well polished because this is your marketing tool. We recommend visiting your career center for resume review before using it for internship search for better results. And lastly, you want to have a well-drafted personal statement or elevator pitch. Writing a good personal statement gives you a chance to communicate about who you are, your skills and interests, aspirations, and what it is you're looking for in a prospective internship.
Awesome. So let's go over the process of signing up.
Sure. So once you've gathered all the required documents, head on over to scitechmn.org and click on the Student Enroll button to begin your enrollment application.
Sounds pretty easy.
Yes, Piper, I promise it is quick and easy. If you have all of your enrollment materials prepared, it should take you no more than 15 minutes to complete your application.
Okay, so let's say I've registered for SciTechsperience. Now what? Does that mean I'll be matched up with a company?
Good question, Piper. So as I mentioned earlier, we don't match you up with a company and we don't make hiring choices. To help you find a potential internship opportunity, let's go over how to best utilize SciTech. When you have been approved to the program, an email will be sent to you. Be sure to read the SciTech welcome email carefully, as it'll help you further understand the basics of the program. After that, you'll be able to log in, search, and favorite jobs on the job board. Lastly, and most importantly, each posting will include the hiring manager's contact information so you can reach out to them directly and let them know of your interest in that internship opportunity.
Very nice. So it's like a more personal connection to the hiring manager.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, Maria, can you walk us through the job board search process and how to find employer contacts?
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. So you'll begin by logging in and you'll automatically be taken to the job board. It'll look like this screen up here. There you'll begin by using keywords to search through available positions. So for example, if you're looking for a programming position, type in programming and it'll auto-populate all of those positions available. You can also mark the jobs that you like as favorites by clicking on the star on the left-hand side. That way, next time you log in, you will see them at the top of your list. If the job is still posted, it means that it is not filled yet.
Good to know.
Next, you'll want to begin reading through the internship descriptions carefully. You'll need to fully understand the job that you're applying for in order to write a good email, which will double as your cover letter to the hiring manager. Make sure to review the job details to make sure this internship will be a good fit for you and your schedule and needs. Lastly, all that is left to do is to apply by reaching out to the hiring manager, whose contact is listed in the posting.
Thanks for going over that. So as we start talking about email applications, what tips do you have for reaching out to hiring managers? Are there things that everyone should include in that initial email?
Yeah, great questions, Piper. So I do have a few tips for you to help you prepare to make that initial email outreach to your employers of interest. First, you'll want to start off by doing your homework. This means that you have reviewed the job details and researched the company to help you better understand what work they do and what products or services they offer. Also, be sure to read their press releases if they have any, or their blog posts, and really try to understand their work and culture. This step will also help you determine if it's a good fit for you and how you're going to present yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. After all, the interview process goes both ways. You want to be sure that they're the right fit for you just as much as you're the right fit for them.
Exactly. And next, you want to be sure to project yourself in a serious and professional manner. Focus on what it is you have to offer the company and why you would be a good fit. Make sure to compose a well-written professional email, which, like I said, will double as your cover letter, and be sure to attach a clean copy of your resume.
So what if a student doesn't have a lot of previous experience?
So when this is the case, make sure you talk about your coursework and the projects you have worked on that showcase your technical abilities you have learned. And also be sure to express your interest, willingness, and curiosity to learn. Be sure to conclude by expressing in talking to the company in person about the position you're applying for.
Is it okay to use casual language in these emails? Like, how formal should they be?
Yeah, so for this, it's best to take a professional approach. So for example, make sure you are being specific in your subject line of your email. Remember to use the information provided to you in the job description and from the research you've done. Also, make sure you avoid using any symbols or characters in the email. This makes it look extremely unprofessional.
All right, so let's say I've followed all the previous steps and I've reached out with my well-crafted email, but I haven't heard back from them yet. When is it appropriate to call or do a follow-up email?
Yeah, so you'll want to be sure to understand that these are small companies and that their schedules can be very tight. Give it at least 5 business days and then do a follow-up email or phone call. Be persistent, but please remember to stay professional.
And what if after all of that, I still don't hear from them?
So what I tell students is to make sure you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. What you want to do is identify several internships you're interested in and pursue all of them equally. So that means if you reached out multiple times with no response, it's best to leave that opportunity be and focus your energy on a different one.
All right, cool. So let's go a little in depth as to the steps that you can take to really increase your odds of being hired by a SciTech company.
Great suggestion, Piper. So students who understand how to use the program correctly have higher chances of landing internships through SciTech. The first thing you'll need is to create an outstanding profile that showcases your skills and interests.
Tell me more.
To create a good profile, you'll need a good personal statement and a well-polished resume. There are resources on our student page to help you with your resume building.
Apart from the SciTech website, where else can they go for help with something like this?
So the best way to ensure that your resume, personal statement, cover letter, and all job-related search materials look good is to use your school's Career Service Center. Career Service personnel can help you polish your resume, write your cover letter, review emails you're sending to employers, and help prepare for phone and in-person interviews.
Great. So now that all my materials are prepped, what's next?
So you want to know that we post new jobs every day. If you don't find a position right away, don't get discouraged. Check back regularly and check your email for the list of new jobs sent out every Friday. Remember, be persistent. If you see the job on the job board, it means it's still open. If you search the job board consistently and contact hiring managers, your odds of being hired are very high.
Let's talk about that. What should I do if I'm hired?
So if you're given an internship offer, you'll want to be sure to respond in a timely manner. This usually means that you have a 24-hour window to respond in a well-written email. After that, you'll want to be sure to notify the SciTech staff that you have received an internship offer. That is because you may only do one internship per program year through SciTech. And our program year runs from September 1st through August 31st. And lastly, you'll want to make sure you take some time to set up internship goals before your internship starts.
Can you elaborate on that? What are internship goals?
So essentially, the goal should answer this question. What do I want to get out of this internship?
And to help us find the answer, what does a good internship look like? What can I expect?
Great question, Piper. So all SciTech internships are designed to give you that hands-on experience in your STEM field of study. This means we do not accept positions that primarily involve administrative work, marketing, sales, advertising, assembly, production, and things such as that. We also conduct site visits and post stories on our blog and SciTechsperience social media.
That's right. One of the best ways to know what SciTech internships are like is to visit our blog and follow us on social. There you can read the success stories and internship features that we post every week. So let's talk about how to get the most out of a SciTechsperience internship.
Yeah, I've got a few ideas.
Awesome. I've got a few as well. To start, be sure that you start building a portfolio of the work that you're doing so that you have it for reference when updating your resume.
Next, you want to explore your field of interest by taking on challenging projects with optimism and eagerness to learn. Internships are hard work, and doing what's expected of you isn't enough to be noticed. You need to go above and beyond, from arriving on time to doing exemplary work, and make the most of your time in the organization.
Ask questions. Take advantage of the fact that no one is trying to compete with you. Rather, they're trying to teach you. Ask thoughtful questions and absorb all that you can.
You want to remember an internship is another learning experience outside of the classroom. Be student-minded, eager and willing to learn, and fall in love with the power of constructive criticism.
Network as much as possible. Build professional relationships. Observe great relationship builders in the company and learn from them.
The last tip we have is to remember that an internship can be your route to a full-time job. Maintain good professional ethics, relentless punctuality, organizational skills, and teamwork.
All right, so let's wrap this up. I have had a great internship, but it's coming to an end. How do I conclude?
So the first thing you'll want to do is ask for an exit interview. Next, you'll want to be sure to stay in touch. Maintain your contacts as much as possible after you leave your internship. Be sure to connect using LinkedIn, not Facebook. LinkedIn is for professional networking. Facebook is for personal contacts and family. Most likely, while still in college, these two worlds should not mix.
That's good advice.
And lastly, you want to be sure to take the time to personally thank and say goodbye to all of those with whom you've interacted. A nice way to do so is by handwriting a thank you card.
Awesome. All right, so let's conclude this webinar, shall we?
Yeah. So for those of you that still have any questions left, feel free to reach out to me and I'll directly answer your questions and clarify any program specifics. Also, as we conclude our webinar today, there are a few things I'd like for all of you to remember. The first one is that you'll start your enrollment application at our website, scitechmn.org. Remember that these are exclusive job postings and these employers come directly to us to post their jobs on our job boards, which means you won't find them anywhere else like Handshake or Indeed. Next, you'll want to be sure that you check your email every week for the weekly emails that we send out on any new jobs that have been added to the board. Next, you'll want to remember to use keywords when using the job board and also mark your favorite jobs. Please remember that we do not make the hiring choice. Companies do. Next, you'll want to be sure to utilize your Career Center and treat the internship hunt as a real job hunt, because this could be your stepping stone to your STEM dream career. Lastly, be persistent and reach out to us if you ever have any questions about the program.
Thanks for that, Maria. So how can they contact us?
So you can reach us by email at scitechmn@mhta.org, or you can reach me directly at maria@mhta.org. We also do campus visits with student groups and attend career fairs. If you want us to visit your campus, feel free to contact us.
Awesome. And we actually have a question here that came in from social. So Ricky wants to know, I created an account last year, but I'm having issues logging in. Is it something to do with my password? How do I fix this?
Yeah, so good question, Ricky. So what is more than likely happening is that your account is deactivated. And what this means is that at the end of every program year, which is August 31st, the website automatically deactivates all active accounts, and you can reactivate it simply by sending us an updated transcript that includes your name, cumulative GPA, cumulative credits completed, and then your current coursework in order to verify eligibility requirements. Once we have that and you meet all of the eligibility requirements, we can go ahead and reactivate your profile, so then you'll be able to log in with the same credentials you chose when you signed up.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Maria. And thank all of you for joining us today.
Yeah, I also want to thank all of you for joining us today, and a special thanks to Piper for hosting this webinar with me. I hope you all have a better understanding of how to utilize the SciTechsperience program to help you land a great internship in your STEM field.